Are you aware of this episode in American history? Muslims enslaved millions of Africans and Europeans over the centuries. In the Middle Ages, Catholic orders in Europe collected donations and ransomed captives. In 1625, William Bradford wrote of a pilgrim ship returning to England with dried fish and beaver skins to trade for supplies, when Muslim pirates captured it in the English Channel, took the crew to Morocco and sold them into slavery. European countries then paid millions of dollars in tribute to the Muslim pirates, and America was covered under the British tribute. After the revolution, Muslim pirates demanded that the United States pay its own tribute. When pirates captured American ships, Thomas Jefferson met with Tripoli's ambassador in France, asking, "What did we do to offend you?" Well, he writes back to Congress in 1785 saying, "The ambassador answered us that it was written in the laws of their Quran that all nations who should not have acknowledged Islam's authority were sinners, and it was their duty to make war upon them and to make slaves of all they could take as prisoners." Jefferson arranged for John Paul Jones, the father of the American Navy, to fight the Muslims on the Black Sea for Catherine the Great of Russia. The U.S. was paying nearly 20% of its federal budget to these Muslim Barbary pirates. Then on December 29, 1803, the new 36-gun U.S. frigate Philadelphia ran aground on an uncharted sandbar in the Mediterranean while patrolling off of Morocco's coast. The 307-man crew was imprisoned for 18 months. To prevent this ship from being used by Muslim pirates against us, Lieutenant Stephen Decatur sailed his ship, the Intrepid, into Tripoli's harbor on the night of February 16, 1804, and set the captured Philadelphia ablaze, then escaped amidst fierce enemy fire. It was considered the most bold and daring act of the age. The U.S. Marines later captured Tripoli, freed the prisoners, and forced the Muslims to sign a treaty. Stephen Decatur wrote, "Algerians were believed to be masters of duplicity, willing to make agreements and break them as they found convenient." After the First Barbary War, Francis Scott Key published a poem in Boston's Independent Chronicle, December 30th, 1805, titled, "When the Warrior Returns from the Battle of Far." He wrote this to the same tune that 9 years later he would use to write the Star-Spangled Banner. It said, "In conflict resistless, each toil they endured, till their foes shrunk dismayed from the war's desolation. And pale beamed the crescent, its splendor obscured by the light of the star-spangled flag of our nation, where each flaming star gleamed a meteor of war, and the turbaned head bowed to the terrible glare. Then mixed with the olive, the laurel shall wave, and form a bright wreath for the brow of the brave." Well, the Barbary Pirate Wars are referred to in the lines of the U.S. Marine Anthem, "From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli." On December 5th, 1815, at the end of the Second Barbary War, President James Madison announced the successful termination of the war, which had been commenced against the United States by the Regency of Algiers. The squadron under Commodore Decatur lost not a moment after its arrival in the Mediterranean in seeking the naval force of the enemy and succeeded in capturing 2 of his ships. He hastened to the port of Algiers, where peace was promptly yielded to his victorious force. Madison continues, "A sensibility in which you will unite to the happy lot of our country and to the goodness of a superintending providence, to which we are indebted for it." America has a unique history of faith and turning to the Lord in times of crises, and it's important for us to remember these miracles in American history.